Hello, my name is Michelle, and I have decided that I want to start a new YouTube channel. And so I'm inviting you to come and watch and learn from me. I don't know if this video is going to be any good. My laptop is having lovely issues, and so I'm using my phone. I finally found my little clamp thing, so I'm pretty excited about that. So who am I? I'm a mother of 6 children. I homeschool 3 of them. And one of them's married and he's got 2 kids, and it's pretty awesome. And I am, I'm actually a healer, and I have another channel that I talk about healing and, a little bit about just personal development stuff. I really enjoy talking about that. But I wanted a place where I could really share some of the other things going on in my life. I am a creator. I have been crocheting since I was like 9 years old. So, full disclosure, I'm 49. That's been 40 years. My grandmother taught me, and it was really fun. My very first project, I made my Barbie Afghan, and it was so awesome because part of it was like this wide, and then it went down and kind of part of it was this wide, and so it's like, ooh, what happened there? I was so proud of it though, because it was the first thing I ever made, and my grandma taught me. I definitely do a lot better now. I have a very consistent gauge when crocheting, so that's really awesome, and I am constantly making something. Let's see, I was taught to sew. My mom taught me how to sew when I was probably about 9 as well. I was in 4-H and went to state fairs. Was that what I got? I'm trying to think what I got a purple ribbon for. I think by sewing might have actually been what got me a purple ribbon at State Fair. I'm not sure. I can't remember because I did cake decorating. I did entomology. Oh, I hated bugs. We did rockets. I do this with my rocket because I had one that when it shot up in the air, the wings would open up. So to me, it's like, oh, you do this, it's a rocket. And just creativity was always there for me. In high school, I was constantly sketching and drawing. I did a lot of portraits and that kind of thing. Now it takes me way too long. I'm so out of practice with art, but every time I'm in an art class, I excel. I just really have a knack for a lot of the creative things, and I love that about myself. Knitting is new to me. The story goes that when the first Christmas after I was married, my ex and I started knitting. I made this way adorable red, white, and green Christmas sweater for a baby, and I know some of my kids wore it. I don't know if all of them did because I don't know if they were all the right size to wear it. But that was really fun, and honestly I don't think I have it anymore, and that kind of makes me sad to think about that I let go of the one thing that I knitted once upon a time. For whatever reason, I did not continue knitting. A few years ago, I decided to knit a dishcloth, one of those that you can put a picture on by using purl stitches to create the picture, whereas the background's all knitted. And so I made that, and I was like, well, that was fun, and then I was done. Another year or 2 later, I made another dishcloth, and then I was done. This last year, probably November, I started knitting again. I made hats for all my kids for Christmas. Most of them were crochet, but I did decide to knit a couple, and I fell in love with knitting. I thought about it, and I realized part of the problem was my mom was a knitter. If she were to pick up yarn and do something with yarn, it was always knitting. And I have always kind of had this, I don't want people to feel bad. Like, just even there's a part of me that still's kind of feeling it. Like if I'm saying I'm so creative and I'm so talented and I do this, and there's a part of me that's like, don't tell people that, they'll feel bad. Yeah, that's just part of the way I was. But because of that, I think that's part of why I didn't continue knitting, because I didn't want my mom to feel bad. And my mom passed away 2 years ago. And so this time it's like there's nobody to feel bad if I knit. And I have been knitting ever since. I've enjoyed making hats. I started making socks. I'm doing almost more knitting than crocheting right now. I'm sure I'll go back and forth, but I think part of it is just knitting still kind of new and fun for me. And then the other thing, and one of the biggest reasons why I'm starting this channel, is I have a few patterns. I have a couple of patterns for sale on Etsy, and I will make sure that my Etsy shop is linked in the description box below. There's a couple of things that it would be so much easier. Like, I figure out how to write the instructions, and my testers have been able to make it, and I haven't had anybody email me for help about them. But there's a few things that it would be so much easier for some people to have a visual as well. So I'm like, there's parts of these that would be so much better if they were, if I were to do a tutorial. And so that was part of why I wanted to start this. One of the things that I found with knitting, well, for crocheting, I don't know if it's just that I wasn't interested in them, but it seems like the only crocheting I ever found were actual tutorials, whether it's how to do specific stitches, or like a whole project or a part of a project. And when I started learning knitting, I found all the knitting blogs, the knitting alongs, all these other things that I'm like, are they there for crochet? I've seen a few for crochet. But I just decided, you know what, that's fun. I want to do a vlog. I want to say, hey, this is what I've finished. This is what I'm working on, and things like that, and kind of share some of what I've been doing and what I'm doing in my life. And so I've decided that I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do tutorials, and maybe make little patterns for you guys. I've been making patterns since I was in my 20s, but it was like not necessarily writing it down for people to use until more recently. So I only have 2 patterns currently on my channel, or on my Etsy shop, but another one is coming soon, and I have 2 or 3 more in the works, so I'm really excited. Yay, yay, yay. So this is the part where I'm going to tell you what I have done. Some of them I'm just going to have to put pictures up, probably here, and others I can show you what I have finished. So one of the things that I have done is I've started making a pair of socks for every member of my family, and so that's really fun. And I can show you the picture of the first kid's socks. It's for my 16-year-old boy. And then these ones I'm really excited about. These are for my 2-year-old grandson. He'll be 2 in a couple months, actually, so he's not quite 2. And I'm just really excited. They're super cute. The one thing that I am finding a challenge as for me is when I have a skein of wool, because I wanted to try knitting wool socks, when I hold it, when I'm trying to knit with it, my hands start to burn, like they start to get really hot, and then that heat starts to go up my arm. And so I'm like, no, I'm not gonna knit with wool. I haven't had the money to try alpaca, but I think that would be really fun to try. So finding sock yarn is quite a challenge. So this sock yarn is from Hobby Lobby. I don't remember where the tags are to tell you exactly what it is, but it's a Hobby Lobby It's what I got at Hobby Lobby. So this one, these ones, and then my sons are of the same yarn. And I'm really excited about this. I have 2 grandchildren. This little boy and then my little granddaughter will be, wow, she's gonna be 4? Holy cow. So her birthday's in the summer, so I'm excited about that. And then I have 6 children and my daughter-in-law and myself to make socks for. I'm really excited about this, so this is really fun. The other thing I have done, I'll tell you about, I actually have a list so that I look, so if I look over here, make sure that I talk about them. I did a fingerless gloves. It was like kind of, it's one where loops around the thing. I'll put them here. They're for my daughter. Oh, I forgot to put leg warmers on the list. I also made her leg warmers, so I will put the picture of those. I'm really excited about the fingerless gloves because they were super, super fast. I got the pattern from Etsy. I can link that pattern in the notes below. My socks, I'm just doing vanilla socks. I find for myself, I was struggling to make, do the ribbing. So my socks are toe up, and I may stay doing toe up socks. I don't know. My leg warmers, I did where you do a couple of rounds flat, rows flat, and then you join in the round and work around in the round. And I found that a little bit easier. And then you just sew up like a couple little rows at the top, and that's what I did for the leg warmers, and that was easier. I mean, those, it's ribbing at the bottom, ribbing at the top. You've got to do one or the other. So that was pretty fun. The fingerless gloves were really fun to crochet, and they were really fast. And so I'm going to talk about these. I did not make these. My mother did. And she made, let's see how many is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she made 17 of these granny squares. And I was like, what do I do with them? How do I honor that my mom for that? I only saw her crochet twice in my entire life. One time was making a hot pad, and the other time was making these granny squares. So I'll show you a picture here. I made a cover for us, one of our kitchen chairs with 9 of them. I found some that really worked together, and I really like how it turned out. I just hooked them, sewed them up together, and then I did a border around with the strings to attach to the chair. Nothing big, nothing major. So then I was like, okay, what do I do with the rest of these? Well, I've decided this one kind of looks Eastery with the, I don't know if I can get, I feel like the color's weird, but it's got the yellow, the pink, and the green, and so it looks Eastery. So I'm like, oh, look, a coaster. So this is an Easter coaster. This one looks like autumn. So now this is my autumn coaster. This one looks like Valentine's Day. So it's my Valentine's Day coaster. This one is St. Patrick's. This is actually my favorite. I love like green, like these kind of greens and black together. I had a skirt that was green and black, and it was my favorite. So I love this coaster, and St. Patrick's Day is my favorite holiday. This one also is autumn. So this one I might do more like Halloween because it's more Halloween orange. And this one's more autumn colors. So I've got a couple of those, and then I've got a red one, which I can put out for Christmas, or really the 4th of July. I've got that for 4th of July, and then I got like a winter one because it's blue. It reminds me of snow, and maybe this is just when I'm not decorating. It's blue and pink. And so I was like, well, that's fun. I can just use the rest of these as coasters for seasons. Gotta put this one back out for use. And then I made that seat cover for my mom, to honor my mom, and that was really exciting. And then, let's see, what else do I have? Gloves, socks, Easter towel. Oh, so this right here that I'm going to put a picture up, this is my towel topper pattern. It's the one that I'm working on bringing out and getting ready to go in my Etsy shop. It was a lot of fun to make. It was actually it was so fast. I have some other plans for it, for the egg shape, which I'm excited about. And so I'm really excited that I did that and that I got to make a new pattern for it. And then also, so sometimes I sew, and I have found, watching different YouTubers, costumers, I think is what some of them are called. Some of them are historical costumers. And I actually sewed my daughter a pirate shirt completely by hand. And it was so much fun to make with just the squares and rectangles, and I do have like a kind of weird triangle shape to make the gusset underneath the arm. Definitely learned a lot, definitely things I could do better, but I was so excited and it was so fun to make by hand. So those are some of the things, not everything that I've finished recently, but some of the highlights. And then things that I am working on is creating that pattern for Etsy shop. That's one of my kind of urgent to-dos. I'm going to be making a video soon. I have another towel. Isn't that a cute towel? And so I'm going to actually do some of my tutorials for my channel here with this kitchen towel, getting the pattern ready and showing you some of the things from that pattern, showing you how to actually put the blanket stitch around on the towel and get it ready for crocheting, which is really exciting and fun. So that's one of the things I'm working on. My daughter is going to be 19 at the end of this month. And so I'm making her socks. She requested 2 different yarns, and she wanted one of them made in this yarn and one of them made in this yarn. And so actually what we're doing, if you can notice, the toe of this one is like the same stuff up here, and the toe of this one is the same stuff up here. So the toes, the heels, and the cuffs will be in the opposite socks yarn, so that they go together, but they're also unique. They're extremely unique. This is what she requested. So I'm working on these. I don't know if I'll get them done by her birthday or not, but I'm doing an afterthought heel. I guess it's called a forethought heel because you put in this stuff. So I have it marked up. It's a combination of things, but I am to that point. So now I'm just doing the leg part, and then I'll do the cuff and come back and do the heels. So I am getting there. There's the Crazy Sock Lady taught me to mark with the 3 stitch markers, so I'm borrowing that. Somebody else said to use dental floss as a what's that called, a safety line. So I have 2 safety lines. I don't know if you can see that here. There's one above, and then there's the line that gets cut, and the one below, and then that way it will be a lot easier to get them back on the needles and not lose any stitches, which I would definitely do. So it's really fun to learn from different people and then take 2 tips from all of them and put together. And so I've been doing that. I've also marked them up like she did. I'm doing 2 at a time. Part of why I mark it, even though I'm doing 2 at a time, is I learned with my sons that if I don't, I will end up making a mistake that causes me have to undo one of the socks, and it will be a big pain to try and get them about the same size. So even though I'm doing these 2 at a time, I am marking them. So if I have like some kind of mistake that's like major, have to go back and fix it kind of mistake, it will be really easy for me to do that. But these have been going pretty well. I've only had one thing that was pretty bad to have to fix. And that's really exciting for me because that tells me that I am definitely making progress, because up until this pair of socks, actually these ones weren't too bad. These went really fast. They're small, so they went really fast. I'm like, oh, I want to make baby socks forever now. Like, they're so fun and they're so tiny and cute. So these are my first afterthought socks for the heel, so I'm really excited to see how those turn out. And I love that I'm just getting better at what I'm doing and how to read knitting and fix knitting. I have not, for the life of me, figured out how to do lace. I make too many mistakes, so we'll see if I ever get to make lace. The other things, I have a few projects that I'm working on that are kind of paused, and I definitely have some plans. I'll show you. So this fabric right here, my pillowcase, it's, I don't use my flat sheets. I just like the fitted sheet on my bed, and then I have the pillow, and then I just have the blankets on top. I don't use the fitted sheet. So I'm going to take the fabric from that and make a blouse for myself. I'm really excited about that project, but it's one of 40 billion planned sewing projects, crochet projects, knitting projects. I have so much going on, so much going on. So I have a few crocheting projects that are on hold for different reasons. I have a knitting project. Actually, I wonder if I can find it without disturbing the camera. Sorry about the noise. I have this one that's kind of been on hold because I was like, I need to hurry and finish some things and then I can come work on it again. Hey, that's where that crochet hook went. I've been missing that one. It's great for picking up stitches. So I've been working on this little tiny shawl. It's not going to be little tiny when it's done. So this is the Lion Brown Summer Nights fingering weight. It's got sparkle in it and it's really fun, and so I've just been doing a simple shawl from this stuff. I really should get working on that because it is springtime coming. It snowed recently, so I can't say spring is here because we're in Utah, so we're in our like second spring maybe. I don't know. We get a little spring teaser and then it snows again, and it just snowed this last couple days. So yay for weather. Weather's been weird. I saw that the weather in Oregon was snowing, and which just seems awfully late for them to get snow. Anyway, and then the other thing that I am doing and working consistently on, I am trying my hand at knitting a bra. I've watched a few tutorials and I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I think it would be really fun to try just to see if I liked it. I tried crocheting one. I definitely think something is missing from crocheting patterns for that. They don't do anything with ease, so it was just like really just sitting on me, and I was like, I don't like this. This is weird. So whereas a lot of times knitting seems to really take into considering the ease, because things stretch. Knitting stretches, crocheting stretches. Like I think even like if you see even the granny square, it has a stretch to it, right? And so that's one thing I've noticed, is that the crochet patterns for bras don't actually have any stretch or like any ease to take care of that stretch. So I'm gonna try playing with that one too. But so I was just trying different things. You know, I'm still new to knitting, but true to my nature, I decided to try playing around and seeing if I could come up with my own patterns. So, learning a lot. I had one that probably was about this size, and then it was all pieces though, as I was just figuring things out. So I undid it and I started again. So I've done is this called a provisional crochet cast on? I don't know what it's called. It's a crochet cast on. So that I can come back. I decided I wanted to do the cut part and then come back and put the band all the way around. I think because then it will help me. But like I said, stretch. I even have some sections that stretch less versus this section that has a lot of stretch. And then I have a little section in the middle that hardly has any stretch at all. So I've been working on this, making up my own pattern as I go. I'm really pleased with how it's turning out. So we'll see how it turns out in the very end. I'm excited for that. Just even if it's something I make just to say I made it and then I don't do anything with it. I never wear it again or whatever. That's okay. I'm having more fun just figuring it out and deciding what to do and how to make it work. And so that's been fun. That's pretty much kind of the main things I have going on right now. Oh, I'm gonna make my other daughter, her birthday, I'm gonna be making her a monster pillow. And I shouldn't have said that because she might see this and I don't want her to know she's getting a pillow. She does know that I'm probably gonna make her fingerless gloves because those will be really fast. That way she gets something, because I don't think the socks will be quite done, but they might. Depends on how hard I work on them. So that's kind of what I have that I'm currently working on, not counting all the things that are planned because there's many. So yeah, is there anything else to talk about? Anything else going on, doing? I think that's pretty it. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I'm excited for this new adventure in our lives. I would love for you to just subscribe and, you know, so that you can join me, watch for my blogs, watch for my, my tutorials and patterns and whatever. And yeah, so what was I gonna say? I want to know what you're creating. What are you creating in your life, for your family? Are you, and it doesn't have to be, maybe you're a food creator, maybe you're a painter, maybe maybe it's not crafts and yarns or whatever, but what are you creating? I want to know what you're creating. I think that's really fun to know what other people are creating. So I will see you guys soon. I'm not sure, haven't quite figured out if I'm going to have like a weekly schedule. I would love to have a weekly schedule. We'll see how it goes, and what days they'll come out. But for now, it is what it is, as I'm still kind of in the beginning stages of this. And I would love to have some idea of the things, you know, how some people say happy knitting or whatever. I would love to come up with some kind of thing to say at the end of my video, but I don't have one right now. So I'm just going to say goodbye. See you next time.